Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm going to be doing my game week 7 reaction, review video, and it's going to be on the Championship website, not going to be in the usual self because I'm pretty late, so I have to do it on this. Should we start off with the first game, which is Sheffield United 4, Reading 0. It was at the time first v second, and Reading, they had a good start to the season. They looked strong. They were first. They had like 12 points. Sheffield United had 11. And then, Sheffield United just came out of absolutely nowhere and just destroyed this Reading side. And it's Reading, they showed a few they just got battered. It's just a day at the office where you've got to just go with it. It's poor for Reading. I think the usual Reading is sort of back now, I think. So it's 4-0 Sheffield United, dominant. Ollie McBurney in the 11th minute. Aniel with a double and Nadai with a goal as well. As you can see by the possession stats, Sheffield United dominated. 18 shots to Reading's 4. 7 on target to Reading's 0. 57% possession to 43% possession. And it just shy of just 560 passes. So honestly, this Sheffield United side could get promoted and they could get top. A good pass accuracy, way more fouls. There's no yellow cards in the whole match. Wow. Oh yeah, Sheffield United. Yeah, look at that, the table now. Sheffield United top of the table with Reading in 6th. That's huge. That is very huge. Sheffield United 4 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. That is brilliant record. That's very strong. That is a very strong record. 1 loss the whole season, and that was to that was to Watford at the very start of the season. So yeah, Sheffield United, they lost in the first game of the season. Ever since, they've just been dominated, which is very good to see. They look very dominant. Reading slumber down into 6th, but only 2 points off top. So it's not awful for Reading. But yeah, should we move on to QPR 3, Hull City 1. QPR looked strong. They went 3-0 up. They were looking fiery. They had that goal belly. They had that belly of just goals. They were clinical. 11 shots, 3 goals. Clinical from the QPR. And this whole side, let's not forget, a very strong side. So QPR 11 shots to Hull 7. 7 on target for QPR to Hull 3. Just literally around 50% possession. Around the same amount of passes, around the same pass accuracy. Way more, Hull conceded way more fouls, joint yellows, and stats there. I think QPR on the fair share of it. I think they deserve to win this game. They were very strong. They looked very good, and you'll see where they are in the table. QPR 9th, Hull are 11th on the same amount of points. We're away from top, which is huge. So QPR back in it. Then 9th, Hull. Recently, they've had a loss, a win, a loss, a draw, a win. So they're looking decent. 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. With QPR as well, 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. QPR, they still look strong. They still look good. A very good performance from QPR. Hull at the end of the day just got beaten by the better side. Should we move on to the next game, which is Cardiff City 1, Luton Town 2. A good performance from Luton Town. Recently, they have not been on their best form. Where they sit 13th with 9 points. It's like they're not hitting the ground running, Luton. So getting a win away from home at Cardiff, huge, absolutely huge scenes. A goal literally just after half time, huge from Luke Freeman. Gabriel Osho in the 62nd minute, really putting the authority on the game, and then Romain Soy's consolation goal. But we've got to look at Luton side and say well done to Luton, because they have just come back off a huge win, and well done to them. Look at the stats. 17 shots to Luton's 14, 2 on target to Luton's 4, 65% possession to Cardiff. So Cardiff dominated the game, really. More shots, less shots on target. But the possession game, they won. More passes, more pass accuracy, way more pass accuracy, less fouls, less yellows, more offsides and more corners. So honestly, Cardiff, I think, deserved at least a point out of this game. But honestly, Luton Town, brilliant stuff. And that puts them into 13th with 2 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. With Cardiff slumbering down into 17th with 8 points, with 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. So yeah, Cardiff not having the best start this season. Just amount of same amount of just over points in games, which is huge. Yeah, so Cardiff, it was a poor game from Cardiff. Recently, they have not been on their best performance. They're winless in 4. Absolutely, they just don't look great, Cardiff. The ones they win. When did they win? So 2-1. It was at home to Birmingham, so it's not even that. Birmingham's still a decent side, to be fair. But yeah, honestly, it's not great for Cardiff. Another loss on the bounce. Moving on to what a game. Birmingham City 1, Norwich City 2. And honestly, Norwich has fought to the end. Fought to the end, and it's brilliant to see. Birmingham 1-0 up with Scott Hogan. And that was huge. Birmingham probably on the balance of play probably didn't deserve it, but they still got the goal on the run of play for sure. And you thought, maybe what's going on here with Norwich? Because Norwich did not look great coming up to this. Did they? Oh no, they looked brilliant coming up to this game. And it was like, a shock under the bridge here. Birmingham could be beating Norwich here, but no. Andrew with a 63rd minute goal to equalise 1-1. And then it was like, Birmingham will love a point here. A point at Norwich is huge. But no, Hernandez, 93rd minute to win it is fantastic. Honestly, well played to Norwich for fighting to the end of the game and getting a huge result. Looking at the stats here, 9 shots to Norwich's 14, 2 on target to Norwich's 5, 34% possession to Norwich's 66. 276 passes to Norwich's 543. Way more pass accuracy, way less fouls. Norwich deserved to win this game. And honestly, look where it puts them now. Second. It puts them second, 1 point off Sheffield United. It's going to be a battle between Sheffield United and Norwich, and then Coventry. At the moment, definitely not. But it's going to be between. This is very close right now. Birmingham sit in the relegation zone on 5 points. So yeah, it's not looking great. Not looking great for Birmingham. I think they could get relegated. But yeah, a huge win for Norwich. An absolutely massive win. Moving on to Burnley 2, Millwall 0. A huge result for Burnley. A massive win under Vincent Company. And recently, they drew 3-3 twice in a row. No, they drew 3-3 against Blackpool, and it's like a lot of drop points. That's a huge drop point. Yeah, they drew 1-1 to Hull, 3-3 to Blackpool, and then 5-1 over Wigan. Absolutely huge. And now 2-0 over Millwall. I think Millwall is looking alright for them. We'll go to the table in a bit. Oh no, it's not looking right for them at all. Alright, but looking at the stats. Oh, actually no. So Vitinho in the 62nd minute, a huge goal. and then Jay Rodriguez 10 minutes later to seal the deal and make it 2-0. A very comfortable result for Burnley and a fair share. They definitely deserve the win. 22 shots to Millwall's 12, 10 on target to Millwall's 5, 69% possession to Millwall's 31, 575 passes to 253. Honestly, way more pass accuracy as well. They deserve to win, Burnley. They dominated. And look at their table. They sit third. Look at that. The three newly relegated sides are all second, third, and fourth, with Sheffield United on top. And this is going to be an interesting playoff, and I'm hoping Cov can get up to that standards because we do have 3 games in hand, which could be huge. That's an extra 9 points, so that's that's huge for us. We could definitely get back. It's going to be huge though. Look at that, second, third, and fourth. Burnley currently sit in third. So Burnley looking very good, looking very strong. 2 wins on the bounce, 2 draws before that. So they're unbeaten in 4, which is huge. But Millwall, they're winless in 4. So Burnley are unbeaten in 4. Millwall are winless in 4. Honestly, Millwall just I don't know what's going on with them. They just don't look fantastic at this point. 3 losses on the trot. They don't look fantastic. 2 wins all season out of 7 games, not brilliant. A draw and 4 losses. Even the wins and draws combined won't beat the losses. So not looking good for Millwall. They sit 19th right now. They're 7 points off top. They're 5 points off where they want to be, which is playoffs. So they need to work on something, Millwall. They sometimes have a lack of identity sometimes, and they just really I don't know what it is. They don't win games as they should. But yeah, moving on to the next game, which is a Wigan Athletic 1, West Brom 1, and a huge start for Wigan. A 1-0 lead going into in the 6th minute. They go 1-0 up with Josh McGuinness. Brilliant start. And this game was so even. 8, and then Carl Grant with a 22nd minute goal. And I think there was a goal disallowed. But yeah, so for West Brom, so West Brom could have won it. But looking at the stats, so evenly matched. 8 shots to Wigan for 8 shots to West Brom. 3 on target to West Brom's 3. 32% possession to West Brom's 67. So West Brom definitely dominating on the possession. Passes as well, way more pass accuracy. Same amount of fouls, same amount of yellow cards. More offsides for West Brom. And not a lot, just Wigan winning corners. But looking at West Brom now, that's 5 draws on the bounce now, which is not looking great for West Brom. 5 draws out of 7 games. It's Preston. They're doing a Preston. Wigan, though, on the other hand, 4 draws. So not looking great. Now have a game in hand, and that's because of Cov, so they'll have to play Cov. But 7 points in 6 games isn't bad for Wigan. 8 points in 7 games for West Brom, not brilliant. West Brom, they're 7 points off. 6 points off top, which is definitely huge. I think West Brom, if they can get a win now, they could possibly go up to about 10th. They could go up to 7th, depending on results elsewhere. But honestly, this West Brom side, they need to just crack under and just go for it this season. They split draws. They've one win all season. And that was against Hull, wasn't it? A huge, 5-2 win. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with West Brom, but for Wigan, I think staying up is the main priority. Are they going to probably stay up? I think a point a game is decent on average, pretty much just over a point a game on average. So not a bad start for Wigan. Definitely could be worse. 1 loss all season. Now it's to Burnley. Not awful. Moving on to Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0, 1 even, and it was Middlesbrough again, another loss, and that's it's just not brilliant for Middlesbrough. They win their last game, and then they go into this game with a little bit of confidence, and then they lose it. They beat Swansea, I believe, 2-1, and then they just lose it. They lose the confidence of Watford because of Watford, and it was a brilliant start. 4 minutes in, Rodrigo Muniz in the 4th minute, and you're thinking, wow, what is going on here? What is going on here? Can Middlesbrough actually just pull out a shocker? The confidence from Swansea, is that actually hit them? Is that going to make them win it? Or no, Miley Sarr in the 24th minute to equalise, and it's back to typical Middlesbrough. 1-1. They stay 1-1 until the 93rd minute when Vacuum is off Bayo in the 93rd minute, wins it for Watford. And looking on the fair share, wow, an even game. A very even game. 14 shots to Middlesbrough's 14. 4 on target to Middlesbrough's 3. 51% possession to Watford to Middlesbrough's 49. Literally, the same 15 passes separate these two sides. Literally 2 pass accuracy difference. What an even game this is. Honestly, it's a very even game. And looking at the table though, they're literally the opposite sides. Watford sit 4th, 2 points off top, which is huge for Watford. That's 3 wins, 3 draws, and a loss. And they just came back off a loss, Watford, against QPR. I think it was 3-2. So they had to go for it this game and try and get the result, which they did. But looking at Middlesbrough now, 6 points out of 7 games. It's looking pretty poor for Middlesbrough. I just don't really see much of this. Sorry about that. So Middlesbrough, they're just, I don't know what's going on. They're 6 points out of 7. It's looking pretty poor. It's just Watford. No, they're looking good. Watford, they're looking good. Moving on to Stoke 1, Swansea City 1. Obviously a huge point for Swansea. Looking at the job hero, another goal to us now. It's 2-2. In the 6th minute, Swansea 1-0 in the 6th minute. They're looking good. They're looking strong. They want to get that win. And 6 minutes in, 1-0. And then Tyrese Campbell in the 91st minute equalises. 1-1. Wow. And then honestly, double amount of shots for Stoke. Clinicalness again for Stoke lets them down. 4 shots on target out of 20 shots. 5 on target out of 10. So Swansea definitely the more clinical side, more possession, more passes, more pass accuracy, less fouls, which is always good. More yellow cards though. More offsides, way less corners. So honestly, it's a very even game. And then looking at the table, both teams aren't looking brilliant. Stoke sits 16th, Swansea sit 21st. You look at that game and you think, one team has to win it just to get their confidence up. I think Stoke would be the happier of the two, definitely. With that last minute equaliser, higher up in the table, and now Swansea slumber down. They're 1 point off relegation. It's not looking great for Swansea, though, is it, Yogi? Yeah. Alright, moving on to the next game, which is Bristol City 2, Huddersfield Town 0, and it's not looking great for Huddersfield Town. It's definitely not looking great for Huddersfield. I got his prediction right. Yeah. What's that? 2-0 Bristol. It was 2-0 Bristol. Right. And Bristol Naki Wells with a 35th minute goal, and then Semedo with an 80th minute goal. Absolutely huge Bristol. A lovely with Bristol City. Huddersfield slumber down, still 23rd. Still, I think they're winless as well. Are they winless? No, they've won one game. They've won one game. Not looking great for Huddersfield, but Bristol City, huge result. Looking at the stats, 12 shots to Huddersfield's 12, 7 on target to Huddersfield's 4, more possession for Huddersfield. Literally 10 passes separate these two sides, 3 pass accuracy separates these two sides. More fouls for Bristol. I think fair share, Bristol were more clinical. On the day, it was a very even game. Bristol were clinical. Huddersfield weren't. and that's the main thing. It's all about clinicalness, and Huddersfield don't have it in abundance. And Bristol sits 7th right now, just off playoffs, 11 points, 1 point off 3rd, which is huge. 2 points off Norwich in 2nd, and 3 points off Sheffield United. But look at this. They start the whole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams on 11 points. They start that with a goal difference of 4. Whereas 4, 3, 2, 2, minus 2. Huge. Alright, and then look at this, Huddersfield. 1 win, 1 draw, 4 losses. And I think that should be 5 losses when they play Coventry. But look at this, both teams are having a stinker. Huddersfield are just not looking good, are they? They're not looking good. They're not. I don't know why I predicted them 3rd. Why did I predict them 3rd? I thought they were carry on, but they're just so poor right now. They're just not winning games as they used to. And yeah, Bristol City. They're poor. Oh no, Huddersfield are poor. Moving on to Coventry City 0, Preston North End 1. And another loss for Coventry. Not looking great for us. Emile Reece-Jacobson in the 73rd minute with a winner. And I think what's going on here is because we used to have really late goals. We used to be the late goal team. And we used to fight to the end. And I don't see that fight anymore. We had loads of chances. And last season we would have taken them. And yeah, 1-0 to Preston. A good result for them. It was 13 shots to Preston's 13, 4 on target each, 55% possession to Preston's 45, way more passes, more pass accuracy, less fouls, less yellow cards, way more corners. I think we deserved a point out of that game, but yes, again, we hit the crossbar twice. The keeper made a few decent saves. We're just not looking as good as we were last season, and this is a shame. And I know why. It's because we're missing a bright, sparking player in Callum O'Hare. We're missing him. And hopefully he'll be back for Norwich. I don't think he will be, but he's always been doubtful. He wasn't on the bench, was he? And he wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, he's not on the bench. Honestly, we're missing our key players. We had to play Waghorn at Cam. We're not looking great. And looking at the table, Preston sit 10th. They still haven't conceded. They've got 2 goal difference. They've scored 2 goals all season. Haven't conceded. 2 wins, 5 draws. And then look at us. 0 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, 1 point. Slumber down bottom. We have 3 games in hand though. We get that 10. Win those 3 games in hand. We're going to 10 points. We'll be about mid-table, but that's not where we want to be. We want to be pushing. We want to be pushing for playoffs. And this season is where we should be pushing. We still have 42 games. We need to not panic now. We've got 42 games to just try and build something up. We've got Norwich next, and the preview will be coming up today. A lot of videos today. But yeah, we don't look brilliant, but we'll move on. Moving on to Sunderland 3, Rotherham 0. Ross Stewart double and a Jack Clark goal. Sunderland looked strong. They looked strong, and I did not expect them to dominate Rotherham like they did. I expected it to be a close affair than 2 newly promoted sides. the 2 newly promoted sides, and I thought, Sunderland were playoffs. They went through the playoffs. Rotherham were 2nd. And I just don't know what happened. I think Sunderland definitely dominated this game. They looked very strong. 17 shots to Rotherham's 7. 4 on target to Rotherham's 3. 55% possession to 45. Way more passes, more pass accuracy, less fouls, less yellows, less offsides, and more corners. So, on the fair share, Sunderland deserved to win. Sunderland definitely deserved to win. Clinical again. Ross Stewart, brilliant player. And yeah, they look good, Sunderland. They look good. And then looking at 8th to Rotherham's 12th. They're literally 2 points separate them. It was huge. Sunderland at the start of this match were actually behind Rotherham by 1 point. and they just turned the screw on against Rotherham and just went pang, pang, pang at home as well. Huge 3-0 result. Rotherham though, there's nothing to worry about. Two wins this season. That's good. 3 draws and 1 loss. 1 loss all season, and that was this game. They were unbeaten at the start of this game. So we don't worry. The Rotherham fans don't need to worry. 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses to Sunderland. Rotherham have a game in hand on Sunderland, and that's against Cov. But it's looking good. It's looking very good for Sunderland and Rotherham. Moving on to the last game, it's Blackpool 0, Blackburn 1. Blackpool, that's all right. I think Blackburn, Brereton Diaz in the 16th minute, and the Blackburn defence held on with not really much pressure from Blackpool. Definitely need to say that. With the stats, 13 shots to Blackburn's 18, 1 on target to Blackburn's 5, 45% possession to Blackburn's 55. Way more passes for Blackburn, more passes more pass accuracy, more fouls though, more yellows, more offsides and less corners. So I don't know. It's a very even game. I think if Blackpool were a little bit more clinical, I think they could have got a goal and got an equaliser. And Blackburn, they needed that. They went on a 3 wins, 3 losses, and then a win here. So a huge result for Blackburn. And they sit 5th with 12 points, and Blackpool sits 15th with 8 points, but nothing to worry about for Blackpool. That wraps up the video. Should we look at the table? Go through the whole table from 24th to 1st. 24th Coventry, 23rd Huddersfield, 22nd Birmingham, 21st Swansea, 20th Middlesbrough, 19th Millwall, 18th Wigan Athletic, 17th Cardiff City, 16th Stoke City, 15th Blackpool, 14th West Brom, 13th Luton, 12th Rotherham, 11th Hull, 10th Preston, 9th QPR, 8th Sunderland, 7th Bristol City, playoffs, 6th Reading, 5th Blackburn Rovers, 4th Watford, 3rd Burnley, automatics, 2nd Norwich, and 1st Sheffield United. Should we see the most goals? Is a Stupinan with 7, then Ross Stewart, then Chris Willock, then Ndiaye, then Brownhill, then Sargent, and then with the most assists, Barteza, Johansson, Dean Garner, Elias Chair, Clark, Norwood, Ross Stewart, Giles, Hedges, and Thomas. The most, look at that. They were there. Alright, that wraps up the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out.